We'll start the new configuration in S4 HANA 2022 version from scratch. We'll do it from a company code and we'll try to post all the financial documents, tax related documents, and the asset related document. So let's get started. And this is going to be a fresher kind of training. Uh, the persons who don't know SAP, uh, we can learn this one, and also people who don't know S4 HANA can get some information from these recordings. So first, this is SAP screen. Once you log into SAP, you will see this kind of screen, and then go to SPRO, click on reference IMG, and click on enterprise structure here. Click on definition, click on financial accounting. Okay, so we will be learning here finance related concepts and the configuration. So first we need to create a company. For example, let's say what is the company code means here. So there are two things here. One is define company and the other one is company code. Define company is basically known as a trading partner and it will be used for intercompany. And company code is basically your register company. So you have to define your register company here. So for our training purpose, we will take Tata Motors India initially. So first we'll do a configuration for Tata Motors India. Then once that is done, we'll move to Tata Motors. For example, let's say Tata Motors has the presence in US. So we will extend this to Tata Motors US and as well as Tata Motors any European country. We can take it as UK. So first, to create any registered organization or a registered company like Tata Motors, so what you have to do is you have to go here and create a company code. Click on execute this option. Click on this. Whatever the clock kind of symbol you see here, so you just need to click here on that one. So you will have here two options. One is copy from the existing company code, which is already there. SAP provides the standard company codes. You can copy it from that, or you can build from a scratch. So for our training purpose, we will go with from a scratch. So first thing, you need to click on create new. So we are creating a new, brand new company code in this SAP S4 HANA 22 version. Click on new entries. So I'm going to create Tata Motors India. It is not necessary that you have to give a alphanumeric number or a alpha number or a number. So it's based upon completely client requirement. So you can give any four alphanumeric number or a number. I will suggest in practically when we are doing, it is always better to go with numbers. For example, let's say all the Indian company codes will have a range from 1000 to 10999, and all US company code will have a range from 2000 to 29999, like that. So you can give a range so that the company codes which are there will fall under that particular range, because there are companies which operates like 100 200 company codes, register company codes, or maybe in a same country or maybe in a different countries, so it will fulfill the requirement. So for our training purpose and our for understanding purpose, we will go with Tata Motors India, just to understand that India, we are using IN. So I will give name as Tata Motors. and the city, which city it is registered. So let's say it is registered in Pune, and it is asking for a country. So for India, we have to use two-digit code. So to search for any, see, there are two options. If you know the code, you can enter IN, or if you don't know the code, yeah, if you know the code, you can enter IN, or if you don't know the code, just click on this arrow key here. When you click on this arrow key, you will get the search option. Click on that search option, scroll down, and you will see country India. So the currency which is going to be used in India will be INR. The same way, if you know currency, three-digit currency code we have to give. So when you click on this search option, you will get the three-digit currency code. Search for India. So INS, if you know, you can directly enter. And language, by default, we have to uh, update English. And for other countries, there are specific countries like China or any other countries. If they wanted to use different language, you can set that language. So once this basic information you have entered, so you need to enter the more details of the address and the company details. So click on this address tab here. So here we need to give whether it is a company, organization, or sometimes it happens that we create a organization with our name. So in that case, you can give Mr. and Mrs. or any other thing. So it's an organization, and give the company name as Tata Motors. This is just a training purpose. I am using this Tata Motors. It is not like we are creating anything or which is linked to Tata Motors. This is just for a training purpose. It is a disclaimer. And here, so how you are going to search? These are the search options. When you directly go and search in anywhere, so at the time it will be useful. For example, let's say you have 10 different countries, sorry, 10 different company codes in India for the Tata Motors only. For 10 different registrations, companies registration you have done in India. So in that case, it is very difficult for you to search. So in that case, you can use search option by way of, for example, like say, let's say Tata Motors India. You have one is in Pune, one is in Bengaluru, one is in Hyderabad, like that. So in that case, what you can do is you can enter location as a search option here, the combination of location and country. So it's up to you. So I will put the same search option like Tata Motors India street. It is Pune, GB, whatever. It is not necessary. It is basically a complete registration address details we are filling here. So whatever the proper address which we will get from customer, so that information we need to fill here. Postal code you can put. City is going to be a Pune. Then the country, it is going to be India. Then region here in SAP indicates a state. So you need to select the region here. So there are two options. One is uh, you might see sometimes alphanumeric way, like region here you will see 01, 02, 03. Sometimes you might see directly MH or a MD based upon the configuration. If you client requirement is they don't want to use the numeric, you can create your own way, like MH or TL for Telangana and uh, GJ for Gujarat, like that. So as of now, we'll go with the options which we have. So for Maharashtra, it is 27. We'll select this one. And if you want to provide any other information, you can provide, like the email ID of the Tata Motors, Tata customer service. Okay, so after filling all this information, you just need to press enter. Okay, sorry, by mistakenly I have given a comma here. So just replace that with .com and press enter. So this is how we have filled all the information of our register information of our organization. So once that is done, click on save. So the same pop-up will come again. So you just need to press enter again. And it is asking for a transport request. So transport request is something, uh, basically you create one request or a service request number. So this information which currently we are doing here, it's in the development system. So in the development system, what will happen is we'll do development and we'll ourselves will do testings, like all the functionalities are working fine or not as a consultant. Let's say we'll check my expenses are booking properly or not, my reports are coming, balance sheet report or a trial balance reports are coming properly or not, or I will check my tax calculations are happening properly or not. All these testings we do it in the development stage. Once we are satisfied in the development stage, we'll move it to a quality stage. In quality stage, we also do some testing based upon the client requirement. Or also, we will ask business, basically business in the sense customer, to do their testings end to end. If they satisfied with all the configurations and all the settings which we have done, then we'll move the changes to the production. So production is the proper system where we will enter real time data. In development and quality, we will use dummy data only for testing purpose. We are not going to use that data for making a payments or for reporting any external reporters. This is only for testing. Only in the production data, once data goes live, and only once we start entering in the production everything. So that data only will move it to will showcase it to external reporting. So what is the use of this one? So when we do development, means this settings, what is this transport request basically means? So whatever we have done here, Tata Motors, so we have entered the address, email ID, and everything. So I don't want this to be repeatedly done in other system like quality in the production. So this will be captured under this particular reference number. So I just need to move this reference number to next quality system. Once in the quality system everything works fine, then the same reference number I will move to production system. So I wanted to capture this under one reference number. I will create my own reference number. So here it is going to be a finance underscore basic settings. So under basic settings, whatever the basic settings we are doing here, like company code and all everything, will capture under this transport request and save it. So now it has generated one transport request, and this transport request we will be moving it to production environment and continue to save this one. Now go back. So once the company is created, company code is created, minimize these settings, go to financial accounting. Under financial accounting, we have financial accounting global setting. Here we have other options where this particular company code is created. So let's say we have created our company code as Tata Motors. Now we have to set two proper configuration. So there are many things are required to post any single transaction to this Tata Motors. It is not like I created the Tata Motors and I can directly paste it. So I need to do many settings. So one by one we'll do it and we'll understand how it will help you out to post the transaction. So after that, we have a ledgers. Under ledgers, so we have a ledger here. Under ledger, we also have a currency types. So execute this one. So here there are two types of ledger we have. One is leading ledger and the other one is non-leading ledger. Under standard ledger. So here ledger tabs you will see standard ledger and the extension ledger. Okay, so under standard ledger itself, you will see there are two types. One is with a leading ledger is selected and other one is non-leading ledger is selected. Okay, so what does it mean? So as we are going to build a brand new company, so for every organization we require a leading ledger. So that is selected. So all the transactions which we are going to enter will capture under leading ledger. And what is non-leading ledger here? Like 2L, whatever we see here. So what is non-leading ledger? So non-leading ledger is basically help you out to create a report specific to a local requirement. Let's say in an example of India. So for example, for India, if your organization is only in India, we don't need to create a non-leading ledger. For a means you are going to show the reports only in April to March, and you need to submit the reports only to the Indian stakeholders, and they are all okay with reports like whatever the reporting format we are showing up. They have given the proper format and everything. So in that they are okay with that format, so you can go with this leading ledger and everything. But there are some times or a couple of cases where we need to publish the reports as per the for example, let's say we have a Tata Motors, right? And Tata Motors presence currently, we will assume that Tata Motors have the presence in US as well as the UK. So they also wanted to see the reports in US dollars, or maybe they wanted to see the reports as per the local requirement of the US. So in that case, we'll create a non-leading ledger as per their local requirement, and this will be created as per the Indian requirement, and this non-leading ledger we will be creating as per their local requirement. So major things will be like here under the leading ledger, you will go with a company code currency. Like in India, the currency will be INR, but for US reporting, we'll go with a USD. For India, we'll go with a financial year as April to March, but for US, they are asking to publish the report from Jan to December. So we'll go into publish the report from Jan to December. So means we need to create a separate financial year. It's this is just an example I have given where two different like currencies we can use, and also we can use financial year. There are many other things which we can be utilized, like uh, asset accounting. We can showcase it in a separate way for the uh, local requirement, and the uh, leading means a local requirement as well as for a global requirement. So for the global requirement, you can use non-leading ledger. And for example, let's say in local requirement, like in India, if the depreciation calculation will be done at a 10 percentage, but for reporting in the US, we need to calculate at a 15 percentage. So that kind of changes we can do it in the non-leading ledger. So these are the changes, and now we'll see just one example. What are the basic requirements are needed for a leading ledger and a non-leading ledger? So if we go and select one organization which is already built, this is just a templates. So you will understand this is a standard organization which we are going to see here. So you will see here to define this ledger. So we need a fiscal year variant and the posting period variants and the accounting principles. So these three at least minimum needed to create a local requirement and the non-local requirement settings. So we'll first create that one, and then we'll come back again here. Okay. So first we'll create a fiscal year, maintain fiscal year. So what is my fiscal year? For India, it is always via April to March. So SAP has by default given some fiscal years, so we can use the fiscal years for our reference purpose. So for example, let's say SAP is already given K4 for it is for a calendar. So there are different types of fiscal years we can have create here. For example, let's say K4 is a calendar year. It means it will be the posting periods will start from Jan and end with December. So here you will see there are 12 posting periods, and the number of special periods are 4. What does it special periods means? Special periods are the periods. For example, let's say after December, your financial year is going to close. So you will get 4 additional periods to do your audit and complete your adjustment entries and submit. So 4 additional periods you will get it to complete your audit. It's not like as soon as the December is done, fiscal year is closed, you cannot post any transaction to that fiscal year. So you will have additional four additional trans months to make adjustment. So likewise, we have V3, that is for April to March. So this we are going to use for India, and this I will deselect. So if anyone want to do from a scratch, they can do it by clicking on the new entries, and they can give their own transaction here on the description. Also the number of fiscal year and the special periods, number of posting periods, I mean. Okay, so after that, I will show you what is other things you have to define. Let's go to V3 and the posting periods. So here the posting periods are very much important. So if you want to create a new, you can do it by clicking on new entries. As we are using the standard V3, so we don't need to create. So what does its posting periods means? Let's say we are saying that April to March is my financial year. So April is my fourth month in a calendar. But as a fiscal year, I am saying that this is going to be my first month. May is my fifth month as per the calendar. But as per fiscal year, it is going to be my second period. So like that, I need to provide all the information, and here I need to give a number of days of that particular month. So March is my last period, right? So March is going to be my last period of the fiscal year. So that is the reason you will see 12 here. Okay, and for always for February month, so this is February month, so always use 29 days instead of 28 days. And these are all the information. And by year, you will see a year shift. So let's say this is my this is basically a 2023 year, right? And I am in a October month currently. So this is my October month, and here I am saying October as my seventh fiscal year or a seventh fiscal period. And here shift I mentioned as a 0. Why? For 2023, I need to give 0. But I know like from January onwards, next calendar year, January onwards, it will change from 2023 to 2024. Okay, so it will change from 2023 to 2024 means, so it's better. I will explain you. Okay, so from April 2023 to December 2023. So this is going to be a same year, right? April 2023 to December 2023. So that is the reason you will see here 000 for everything. Okay, because our financial year is from April to March. But from next year, Jan 2024 to March 2024. You see here, there is a change in the year from 2022 to 2024. So how the system will know, like this is my same financial year. So this is the same financial year for us, right? 2023. So how the system will know? So for that 3 months, we need to tell the system that reduce 1 year shift means reduce 1 year from 2023 2024. So here we have 2024, right? So I am telling the system reduce 1 year from this Jan to March, so that it will be counted 2023 in the same year. So I am telling here, so reduce minus one for all these 3 months. So it will be considered as a same financial year. So this is how you need to do a configuration if you are doing it from a scratch, or else you can use the same. So K4 is something, sorry, V3 is something which we are going to use for our financial year. So after that, you need to assign this financial year to the company code which we have created. So we know like we have created company code Tata Motors India. So for that Tata Motors India, we will assign this V3. So you will see here the financial year it is showing as blank. I will give this V3 and press enter. So April to March financial year is came in for me. Save it. Will ask the same transport details. So I am capturing the configuration details or whatever the things which are there for this company code, like financial year and all. I am going to capture under this configuration. So this transport request will be moved to quality as well as production. So along with that, these settings V3 we have assigned to this company code, right? So that will also get moved. Okay, then the next settings we have is, so now in previous settings I have not mentioned that what is going to be my financial year, right? So sorry, I said like it is going to be my April to March, but I have not said system this is currently a 2023 or this is 2024 or this is 2025. I have not told anything to my system, so I need to define this financial year now. So what I will do is I will create a posting period variant now. First, I need to create one naming convention. After that, slowly I will assign this year to my company code. So first I will define. So let's say I can define with any name. So I will give Tata Motors 01. You can, if you want, you can put Tata Motors India also, not an issue. So just to avoid like if I put everywhere Tata Motors India, you will get a confusion. So for that reason, what I will do is Tata Motors 01 I am putting here, or maybe what we can do is it's a posting period variant, right? So I can put posting period variant PV. Tata Motors India posting period variant. Save this. Okay, so I have created a posting period variant. Now I need to assign this posting period variant to my company code. Save this one and go back. Assign a variant to my company code. So go to position, search for my company code, Tata Motors India. just now we have created a variant naming as Tata Motors PV. So assign this and save it. So this variant is very important for us, where we are going to define this year and save this one. So this is how we have linking our settings, all the settings to our company code. Tata Motors India is my company code, and slowly one by one I am assigning or attaching all my settings to my company code. So this is how the entire Tata Motors is going to be built after assigning all these kind of basic requirements to Tata Motors. Say this one, I will go back. Now I will need to open and close the posting periods. So here I going to define my, so first what we have to do is main, because I cannot, it will take some time to do it from a scratch. So what I will do is I will click on maintain all. So I will copy the standard one. So SAP is already given the standard, and you will always get the standard configuration when you do from a scratch. So copy this. So there is a copy option icon was there. So we need to click on that. So what is our variant? So what is the variant we have created? That variant we have to give here. So we have created Tata Motors PV. So give this variant here. Replace all the standard with your, okay. Once this is done, I will give a little background of what is this one. So as I said, this is financial year. For us, it is going to be as we are in the month of October. Now we are in October 2023, and this is my financial year April 2023 to March 2024. So this is going to be my financial year April to March, right? And I am in October 2023. So from Jan to October, this is the 10th month, right? And this is financial year 2020. So I need to tell the system this is a 10th month. So I am going to post my transactions only in the month of 10. And here, year is 2023. So just give year 2023. So what will happen here is it will allow you to post only transaction in the month of October, and it will not allow you to post in the month of September, or it will not allow you to post any transaction in the month of November. It is required for the audit purpose, because it might happen that human errors will happen. Sometimes we might post a transaction in the 2024 year by mistakenly, or we might post a transaction. If we don't do this activity, we might post a transaction in the month of September, which is already closed. So I don't want to disturb the September month, because the accounts, balance sheet, and everything is closed. So in that case, you can create like this. And here also, from this is from period, and this is two period. So two period also I will mark it as 10. And here I am going to put the year as 2023. Sometimes some organizations, what they do is, yeah, sometimes some organization, they will open quarter at a time, one quarter at a time. So in that case, if you want to do, for me, the next quarter is going to be a 10 to, Sorry, October month is, if I count from a fiscal year, so October is going to be my seventh period. Yeah, I should not be giving here the calendar month. I should be giving here my fiscal period. Okay, so I am saying that sometimes there are some organizations follows the route of opening of one quarter. Like you can open from 7 to 10, so it will allow you to post till the month of December. Okay, so there are some organizations do this practice, and there are some organizations also do some practice like they try to open previous 2 months, like 6 to 7. So if any postings you want to do, you can do it in the month of 6, means September, as well as in the month of October. So there are some organizations to open this 6 month only at the time of month end closure and all. So the best recommendation is always open a current month and close the previous month, and do not open the future months also. So we'll make the changes here for all the account types. Now I will explain what is account type also. So we have done so far. Yeah. So we just opened seventh month, and there are account types which we have to give here. So what does it mean, account types? So A indicates assets. Okay, so in an organization, we will be having different departments or a different type of transactions we will be doing, right? And each department is doing a set of transactions. So you will see there is a procurement department who will be handling transactions or doing activities which are specific to vendors. And there is a sales department who are going to do transactions or anything like sales related activities under this particular account type. And there are GL accounting, basically the banking team or a tax related team or handles this GL specific type of accounting. And assets. Assets are the things like vehicles, buildings, or maybe uh, furnitures and all these laptops. This all this part of assets. So this type of assets and this type of specific type of categories, SAP has divided into a separate account types here. Okay, so why we need to give these account types here? For example, let's say I have closed my September month, because September is my half year ending, right? I need to publish my balance sheet, half year balance sheet for the reporting authorities or maybe for stakeholders. So September, I have closed my vendors. So today is 21st, and I have done my all my settings and everything for the vendors. So vendor, what I will do is I will open 7 to 7. But customers related information, means the customer team who is handling the customer related activities are not yet completed their let's say not yet completed their half year and closing. They need to make some adjustment. There is something audit is going on. Auditor is asking some more details. So what they will do is they will keep this open 6 to 7, so that the customer specific transactions can be done in the month of September as well as in the month of October. So when we do customer related transactions, there is always be a GL specific transaction is going to be happen. So somehow it is going to customer is going to post some transactions, like whether it is going to be a sales transaction or any other transactions. So we need to open GL specific per transactions to be opened for the month of September. So S is for GL account. Plus at a high level plus is will check at a high level for the entire document. Like in SAP, the transaction will be posted at a header level as well as a line item level, and there are posting keys and everything required. Posting keys like debits and credits, everything. So at a high level, the plus sign here is going to check the entire document and tells you that whether the while posting the transactions, whether a transaction means whether the posting period of 6 is open or not. So for plus, you always need to open 6 to 7. So for example, for this month, like assets has not yet completed their transactions for the month of 5, means August month. They have not completed for the month of 5 August. They have not completed their activity. So you can open 5. So when you open 5 here, so this plus sign need to be open as 5 here, as well as the GL also. If you are doing any GL specific posting, you have to open 5. The rest all you can mark it as uh, October 7. I'm currently marking it as 7/7 only. Okay. So this is your current period, and here you will. This is first period is applicable for when you posting a transaction. So as we said earlier, as we discussed earlier, there are 4 special periods which we are going to create, right? So let me open that 4 special periods. So we have taken a V3 as our fiscal year. So there we are telling that I will have a 12 normal periods, that is April to March, and I will also have a 4 special periods. So once my year end is closed, I will have a 4 additional periods, and where I will do my audits and I will make adjustment postings in the month after my year end March is clear. So here I need to define that details. So the 4 additional posting periods is called as period 13 to 16. So it means it will be, here I said like April to March, right? So it is going to be a 4 special periods which we see here 13. 13 indicates, so my posting period March 2024 is 12, because April is going to be my first period. This is going to be my first period to March 2024. This is going to be my second. This is going to be my last period. After that, I will get 4 additional periods. So the 4 additional periods, I can do a transactions from April 2024 is going to be my 13th period. But still, I can post backdated entries in the month of March, but I need to you are not going to post any transaction in April 2024, but when you are in a April month, so that will be considered as a 13th period, and you can post backdated entries in the month of March 2024 for the audit purpose. So I will show you that when we do this transaction practically, we'll test this one also. So like April 13 and 14 like that we can open. So that configuration we have to give here. So I'm going to the 23 here everywhere. Press enter and save it. We'll save under our transport so that it can be moved to production system. So this is my first interval where I am giving my normal periods April to March, and this is my second period. This is basically used for a special period, and this is my third period. Third period is basically needed when a controlling transactions are posted to SAP. So it is not a controlling transactions are posted to finance. So here, controlling means either management related activities or a management related things we do under controlling. So at that time, uh, whatever the financial transactions we want to do post from control to finance, in that case we can open this period. Let's say an example. So I have period open, but controlling team has not completed their month end related activity. So what they can do is they can open period 6 2023 to 7 2023. So in that case, I don't need to open my normal periods. I can keep my normal periods as it is, and I can go and directly post a CO specific transactions in the month of CO specific transaction in the month of September. So likewise, but we don't basically build this transaction unless there is a specific requirement. Uh, I never done anything for any client on this particular tab, but SAP has given this setting. Okay, so now we have done a fiscal year for this particular company code. After the fiscal year is done, we'll create a field status variant. So what is field status variant? I will open one transaction. When we are going to post any transactions or any booking of any expenses or any sales, so you have to use this transaction codes FB60 or FB70 and give the company code as let's say we'll take the standard company code as of now because our company is still building, and here I see there are a couple of fields. There are a couple of fields which I see here like tax jurisdiction, trading, cost centers. So for example, let's say I take any GL account here. Let's say the GL account for here vendor is there. Vendor is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any vendor I am randomly giving. So this is my vendor. Komal company is a vendor. So from that particular vendor, we are making a rent payment or a something. So let's say rent specific GL is, yeah, just for understanding purpose only, right? So rent specific GL is 4000. Yeah. So here you will see for SAP, the cost center is a field. Okay. The cost center is a field. So here for this particular transaction, I need the cost center mandatory or not. So I need to fill this cost center or not. Or maybe I don't want to add any cost center, or I want to mark it as a optional. Even if you enter cost center, then also fine for me. Or even if you don't add, that is also okay for me. So any specific field which is needed as a mandatory or an optional and everything, that settings we will do it under field status variant. So that field status variant will copy from the standard one. Always copy the standard one. Create your own, copy the standard one, and create your own Tata Motors field status variant. So we have created Tata Motors field status variant, and just press enter and tell the system copy all. So it is going to copy everything from the standard. So why we are doing this is it will avoid more time, means it will save our time when we create manually one by one. So it is very difficult. So how much time we have saved, I will show you. Like, so this is the Tata Motors, and click on the field status group here. So these many groups we have. So SAP provides everything. Okay, so these are the groups which we have, and let's take an example of this cost center, what we see here. So I said like it is mandatory or not, how we are going to define. Let's say inside this group, if I double click on it, so you will see general data, additional accounting data, material data, payment related data. So a specific transactions which you are going to post, right? It is not like uh, it can be a, when you post any transaction, it can be a tax related transaction, or it can be a asset related transaction, or it can be a payment related transaction. Correct? So that transaction you have to take. So for example, let's say it's a expense related transactions, right? So we'll go to additional accounting data. So here you will see the cost center is a optional field. So when I mark it as required, what will happen is it will ask a system to enter that cost center field. You have to enter this cost center field, or else I will not allow you to post any transaction. If you put it as optional, so you have to enter that cost center field. And even if you don't enter, that is, the system will not ask you. And what is suppress? Suppress means the system itself will not show you the cost center field at all. So here you will not see this cost center field if you put suppress. So we'll go with the standard. Okay, now SAP has given predefined groups. So predefined groups means whenever I book any expenses, I will use this cost accounting group. Okay, whenever I do any banking related transaction, I will use this group. So these groups are basically we define at the time of GL creation. So we'll slowly understand, recollect it, where we have defined this, and how we are attaching this to a company code. Then again, how we are building one by one, we'll understand. Okay. So like material management adjustments, so we'll use this for any scrap related transaction. We'll use this field status group. So for now we have this field status group FM, and save this one and go back and assign this field status variant to our company code. So we created field status group as TM field status variant and save, provide your details and save it. Okay, so we have given a field status variant, and now fiscal year is done. So other important thing, before we build ledger, other important thing which is basic settings which is required is document types. So what is this document types? So document types are basically folders. Let's say so document types. What is the use of document type? Let's say we post payment related transaction, we post purchase related transaction, we post sales related transactions, we post assets related transaction, and we might also post tax related transactions. Okay, so these are the types of transactions which we are going to post in SAP, right? So uh, to post any specific transactions, SAP has given a document type. So if I go inside this document type, so I want to post a asset related transactions. So SAP will use AA document type. So it will be used for and any generic document which is specific in nature. So in that case, I will use this general entry. Okay, if I want to post a customer invoice, so I will use this customer invoice. And if I want to post a vendor specific transactions, so I will use KR, vendor invoice. And if I want to post vendor credit memo, I will use KG. If I want to post payment specific transactions, so for payment, you will see at bottom, these are all payment specific transactions which we have. Okay, now we'll understand what is inside the document type. So the basically and widely used document type for general is AA document type. Sorry, SA document type. So when I double click on this SA document type, so you will see there is a number range is needed. And when I do a reversal, if you have posted one transaction, okay, with a SA, and when you do a reversal for that one, so at the time of reversal, it will use AB document type. And what is this number range? So whenever you do any transaction in SAP, let's say you posted just an example I am giving. So you have posted vendor invoice of 10,000. Okay, so you posted vendor invoice 10,000. Okay, so for that, SAP will generate, uh, I will put a transaction vendor invoice of 10,000. For vendor invoice, what will happen? Vendor account, vendor, let's say an example of vendor, Tata Steel. Okay, Tata Steel account, credit, purchase account. Yeah, you can reverse way. Let's say I will put purchase account debit to Tata Motors account credit. Okay, so purchase account debit to Tata Motors account credit. So it will be in a minus and it will be in a positive. So this account you are going to post in SAP, right? So when you done a one a transaction means you have purchased a steel worth of 10,000. You purchase steel worth of 10,000. For that you have entered this particular transaction in SAP. So SAP will generate accounting document for this below transaction, and that document will have a number. So that can be 10001. And this for the second document, for example, let's say you have purchased some other thing. Next month, you have purchased steel worth of 20,000. See, in a day, you are going to post billions of transactions, but I am just for understanding purpose, I am just giving a small example. So for the when the second purchase has been happened, so it will generate the next document to this one. So the first document is this one, and the second document is this one, and the second document will have a amount as 20,000. So these are the number ranges which is linked to every document type. So when I click on for SA document type, this is 01. So when I click on the range, and I will use the standard company code as of now. So here the range will start from 01002 to 01999. So whenever SA document will post, it will start from this one. Now let's say vendor invoice. What is the document type for vendor invoice? So for vendor invoice, my document range is KR. So let's go to KR. Double click on it. So KR is starting from 19, right? So when you go to number range information, so and give the standard here 001 and click on intervals. So 19 is my number range, and whenever you post any vendor specific invoice, it will start from 19000019. This is your reference number. So this is how the main interlink happens between a document number and document type. So you have to give a number range that will be a part of document type. And along with that, so whenever you reverse any KR document, so it will generate a KA document type. And then other informations like what are the accounts allowed, account types allowed means when I post a vendor invoice, so it is going to, but obviously it is going to post supplier, and also because we purchase assets from a suppliers or someone, right? So we need to select assets also, means it will allow you to post any transactions linked to vendor asset. It will allow any transaction linked to sub vendor GL account, because here this is going to be a vendor. Tata Steel is going to be a vendor, and purchase account which we are going to enter, that is going to be your GL account. So I am allowing system to use GL accounts also. So with the assets, if I am purchasing some laptop or something, so in that case, I am telling that system to allow this care document type for assets also. And I don't want to use because I don't have any transactions which I am going to do with a customer. So in that case, what I will do is I will remove customer, because just an example I am saying. So I don't want to care document. I don't allow customers to post any transactions or go any. I don't want system to post any transaction to customer when I use care document. So I remove this checkbox. So if you try to post any transactions like here, purchase account to Tata Steel account, let's say, just for an example, 6,000 we have entered debit, and there is one more debit you are just trying to enter customer account 4,000. So in this case you want to post this transaction. This will not happen, but you want to post this transaction. So if you select this checkbox, it will allow you to post this customer specific entry. If you remove this checkbox, it will not allow you to post transaction, saying that the customer is not applicable for this document type. So this is the important functionality, and negative postings permitted. I will explain you practically how the transactions looks like. And there is one more important call out here is this particular document type should allow intercompany transactions or not. So intercompany transactions means, as I said, we will have a Tata Motors India, and we will also have a Tata Motors US. Slowly we will build up this Tata Motors UK. So there might be a possibility that Tata Motors India might sell some cars to Tata Motors US. Instead of manufacturing is happening in India, and Tata Motors US is purchasing from US. So this basically happens in a real scenario also. There is a manufacturing plant always sells to other plant, and there is UK, which is dealing some other transaction. This can be a material internal transactions we do, or maybe a financial related transactions we do internally. So in that case, that is allowed, means any transactions within the company code allowed or not, we will select this one. Intercompany transactions allowed or not. Enter trading partners. So entering of a trading partner is needed when we do a intercompany. So it will allow you to add the trading partners for this document type. Okay, and there are other key important fields are reference number and the document header text. So what does it mean? Reference number and the document header text. So document number and the document header text are part of this transaction. So slowly we will understand what is document header text when we will be doing a transactions. So these are all my, wherever you see here, let me go to FP02 transaction, F-02 transaction. Here, whatever you see here, this is a posting tab where you can enter transactions like all the debits or credits, whatever you want to post, you can enter here. Okay. So here you just need to enter date and all. Now I will tell system that doc document number text is a mandatory field. So here it is an optional field. So how you are going to know whether the field is a mandatory or not, or whether that particular field is a required. So you see this kind of checkbox, right? So that indicates it's a mandatory field. So for header text, you don't see that mandatory field here. Okay. So here, if I want that field to be as a mandatory, when at the time of entering a document header text, I need to select this checkbox. And for reference number also, if I want this reference number and the header text to be a mandatory field, so I need to select that checkbox. So let's say an example KR. So here you are not able to see any reference number, right? So let me select this reference number and the document header text for KR doc and save it. So here previous screen it is not showing up. Now let me refresh this screen. Put the document number, and when you put KR document type here, so see document header text is needed. So we just need to enter this field or else it will give you error. If I remove this document header text and this information, reference number information, and I save it, let's say, let me go back again. If I don't enter, it will just give you a error related to this GL account, but it will not give you a same error which we received earlier. So specify the GL account. So it is not giving a error. It has grayed out because we without entering also it will take it up. So this is the important features of the document type, and we don't need to create additional document type. But if there is a requirement business asks, so at the time what you can do is always copy the standard document type SA and mention the naming as initial upload, and whatever the fields which you want to make it as a mandatory, add that fields and save that one. Okay, I am not creating any additional things, but you can create your own. Okay, so this is document type. Now I need to give a number ranges. So number ranges for my company code is not yet defined, right? So this is the number ranges which we have in the standard transaction code. So I will go to this transaction and I will copy this number ranges. So what is there in the standard number ranges? So these number ranges are nothing but which is coming from a document type. So we saw like 01 and we saw like 19, right? So these are the document types. So SAP by default you will give here as 999. So what will happen is it's always recommended to mention special fiscal year as current year, where we are. So to open any transactions, let's say FP01, right, or a FP03. So SAP always asks for a fiscal year and the document number which is there and the company code of yours. So always try to give a fiscal year here. And now the advantage of maintaining the fiscal year here. So why it's needed? Let's say an example of 19. So 19, for 19 we have fiscal year as 999 unlimited years, and from period it is showing as 19. And to period it is showing as 999. So what will happen is, so for example, per day you are posting a lakhs of transactions. So this number range which you have might be consumed in a 1 year. So for example, let's say into 2023, you have consumed 70, some 70 odd transactions. And the next 2024 year, so if you are not giving this number, so what will happen? I am saying. So if you don't give this number, if you are giving this number as 999, so in 2023 it has consumed all the number ranges from 199 to this number. In 2021 it will start from 199 to, let me put this way, so it has consumed from 1900. So from 2024 onwards it will consume the remaining one. Let's say it has consumed the remaining one. So what is the issue here is, in 2025 you have to create a new number range again. Maybe you have to define some other additional number or something. So instead of this is going to be same. So instead of 19, you have to give something else. So what we suggest always is you put here 2023. So what will happen is, so for let's say an example of in the year first 2023 you have consumed all these number ranges. Okay, in 2024 it will reset again. It will reset again back to the same number ranges. So in 2024 you might have consumed like yeah, you might have consumed like 89 89 000. Okay, 89. So in 2025 again you have to give the same number ranges, and SAP can, so you have to give here, you have to give 2025, and it might happen that SAP might consume any number ranges. So like this you just need to create intervals. So in currently I will copy this to avoid the timing, but in practically when we are doing at a client level, so you have to copy this all information into an Excel. All this information you will be copying it into an Excel and make this year 999 into a normal year. Let's say what we do is I will explain with a small example. Go back and your organization is Tata Motors India. Click intervals. Give here. So for 2023, this is your number range. And next year, when you are going to add 2024, you are going to add 2024. And after that also, you just need to add like this 2020 so that the number range which we have given will not be consumed. So the same number range can be used. So it might happen that the same number like 1900 is there in 24, 19000 is there in 23, also will be there in 25 also. But the thing is that we are not restricting our numbers to a specific period or a specific year. So you will have enough numbers to consume. And this checkbox is needed when you do a external postings. Means external posting means when you are giving your own number range instead of system to generate. So if you give this without checkbox, system will automatically take first number as 01, and the second document will be created, so it will take it as 1, and the third document it will take it as 2, like that. But if you select this external number range, so system will select, you have to manually give the document number here. So when where you have to give, this is the document number when you are entering. So you have to manually give whatever the document number which you are following. So system will create with the document number. So I don't see any company use this manual option. I never came across, at least. For our training purpose to avoid time and save, so I will copy this as 999, but it is always uh, best practice that we use 2023 24 like a fiscal years. So I will go back. I will not save this one. So I will copy from standard 0001. This is a copy option. Copy this, and I will give my company code as Tata Motors India. Okay, so has been copied. So let's me go to Tata Motors India and click on intervals. So you will see the same has been copied here. Okay, so we have done our number ranges and we have done our document type. There is one more key important is posting keys. So any transaction in SAP or any transaction in basically happens like when the earlier test case vendor account. So this is the earlier transaction. Okay. So this transactions what we said is purchase account debit, customer account debit to Tata Steels is a vendor account credit. So this is SAP specific transactions, right? So what will happen here is, so the main important thing is like what is my defined posting keys. So what is posting keys? So here in our example, we saw like we have a purchase account debited, customer account debited, and the Tata Steel account has been credited. So to book these transactions, what will happen is we know debits and credits. in our accounting. But in SAP, we have the concept of adding posting keys. Posting keys are nothing but a debits and the credits. Okay, so for example, let's say I want to post any normal GL specific transactions. So what will happen is, so I will use GL account if I want to debit, I will use 40. GL account if I want to do a credit, so I will use 50. When I double click on it, let's say, so here I am telling that it's a GL account. So, and it is going to be my debit or a credit. So these are the key things which we have to maintain. And the second thing is, here we also have a maintain field status variant. I'm just not going into a detail of this one, but this is required where we have the option to control any specific fields at a posting period level also. So let's say if I want to restrict any cost center, which we discussed earlier, like cost center, so I want to make it as a required, I want to make it as optional, or I want to, so at a debit or a credit level, I can do it. So earlier we discussed about the GL account level, and this is at the debit or a credit level. So this is at the debit or a credit level. This can be done. So slowly, once we progress more into a transactional level, so we'll understand how we can use this one. So there is an option of field status variant at a posting key levels also, and you can create your own by clicking on this one. But SAP has given enough, and that can be used for any asset specific transactions. You can use 70 and 75, and any vendor specific transactions you can use 21 is for debit and 31 is for credit. Mostly used is 21 and the 31 for vendors, and sometimes SAP by default will take the transactions is based upon the basic settings, like because we know like at the time of invoice it is going to be my invoice credit, right? Means vendor is going to be credit. In that case, SAP will take by default, and GL account will be debited. So SAP will take that uh, transactions by default. So at the time of customers, so for customers, it is going to be a 01 for debit. So whenever we want to make any customer invoice posting, so that will be a debit the customers, and GL account will be credited. So if I want to make any GL account credit, or maybe see here, it is not necessary that always customer account will be debited and credited. Uh, we have either it's applicable for vendor also. There might be a possibility that vendor account can be debited, credited, or here also the customer account can be debited and credited. So whenever we want to do a debit, so we use 01, so it will debit. So yeah, you can make a changes here like from debit to credit, and it will play a role of credit. But SAP has it's took almost like 40 years of consulting experience SAP has. So based upon every all the settings they have built, they try to build the best suitable for business and try to capture as much as possible throughout all the organization, all the countries. So mostly you will have everything, but I never created any posting case till now. So whatever SAP has given are enough. So after the posting keys, we also need to create one more settings under the document. So under the document, we have one more option as tolerance groups. So for tolerance group, we just need to go to tolerance group for employees, and copy the standard one and give your company code here. Tata Motors India. And here we are telling the system like per document what is the maximum limit I can post, and for a line item for a single line, because when we call it as a line item, so this is a document. So at a document level I am posting a 10,000 rupees transaction. Okay, this is my transaction. At a document level I am going to post that. But at a line item level, so 6,000 is my line item, this is my line item, this is my line item. So at a line item level, what will be the my maximum amount? So you can put 999. This we can go with the standard, but as per the business requirement we can make changes. And what is the maximum discount a organization can give to any uh, customers or a vendors we get, or basically customers we give the discount, and from vendors also we get the discount. So right, so all these settings we can do it through here, and give a basic configuration like copy this one and save. So this is going to be my part one. So the ledger concept which is there, I will cover under part two. And also we need to define chart of account and everything. So I will be covering that as a part two. So when I make a big videos, it is very difficult for me to upload in YouTube. So I will try to upload in a pieces. Thank you.